This is KCR, the sound of state.
Just take a nice breath in. Exhale that breath. Just allow yourself now to relax more and more. Because from this moment in time, there's nothing of importance for you to do except relax. Relax.
Hey humans, welcome to Scarlett Letter Show, Season 3, Episode 7. This is your host, Scarlett Santa Maria, providing a space for self-expression for San Diego's electronic music artists. And let me tell y'all about my weekend. I was finally able to go out because I'm not sick anymore. Yeah, I still feel like my voice sounds a little raspy, but you know, it's okay. I can sound a little manly once in a while. Friday, I went to Disco Under the Sea, presented by the Deep End and Bump. And honestly, it was amazing. Beginning to end, I got there kind of early, actually. So, and it was kind of busy already. So, good vibes straight from the beginning. It was cool to see people dressed up. I saw some mermaids for sure. And I really loved the decoration. I was living for the blue shades and the fish balloons. That was for sure my favorite. And of course, the music was super groovy. It was pretty much a perfect summer night party, y'all. Deep End always creates a fun and welcoming atmosphere for their guests, and I really appreciate that. And then Saturday, I checked out House to Ourselves in the Matrix. If you know me, you know I love to wear black, so the theme was right up my alley. This event took place in a location that I've never been before, and I actually really liked it. So I'll give you a quick rundown. I got in and I saw the main stage in the first room with LEDs surrounded, making it a loud line of a house. And I thought it was really clever, right? House to Ourselves, you get it? I got it right away. I walked down and there was another room with like a second area with like art stands and bar and music and a dancing space. And you keep walking and there's another room with a second stage that was actually my favorite because the music was like a lot more bumpy. And when I reached the end of the hallway, there was a big open chill area with, guess what, a taco stand. Yes, it doesn't get any better than that. The H2O crew knows how to throw a party, and it was bomb. I'm a big fan of anything dark, so that was definitely one of my favorites. And actually, tonight's guest had a great set at House to Ourselves. So let's hear what he has to say about it. Ofier, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, how you doing tonight? Tell me.
I'm awesome.
Yeah, you are.
I'm still like buzzing off that party. It was pretty incredible. And that was my first time like seeing the House to Ourselves boys like pre-production show up to the party. It was like a freight train of like a factory assembly line. Like all the boys are standing there waiting for the U-Haul truck to show up. Boom, U-Haul opens up. Everyone's like pacing, running speakers into it. Like this, we did this entire party ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
It's a full production, and it's like so many homies coming together, crushing it together.
It was amazing. And I'm already a big fan of them. I had them in my show. They were like my second guest. And I know that they work hard and they're all about the community and collaborating. And
Yeah, and they were just telling me, I was having lunch with them right before this. We were talking about the House to Ourselves party. And they're like, oh, you're going on Scarlett tonight? Hell yeah. Like, we were there the second episode.
Yeah. So that's awesome. It's great that you had a good experience. And so did I. Whenever I go, I always have the best time. So I want to focus on you now. Well, this is all it's about you, but shout out to House to Ourselves. You have a really interesting musical background. You have a variety of talents, and which have led you to where you are today. And I'm really excited to hear your story. And I like to start from the very beginning. You taught yourself how to play guitar, bass, and drums at the age of 12.
Yeah, so
What sparked your interest to playing those instruments?
even like before that, when I was 7, my dad, like, he had to do clarinet lessons, and like he hated clarinet, so he like stole the money and bought records with it. And he actually was a DJ like in the 60s in Israel, and he would like play disco and funk and all this like fun stuff you could dance to, and he was like really into Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix and stuff like that.
It's so cool.
So that really influenced me, because when I was a kid, my dad was like bumping Led Zeppelin and Prince and Jimmy Page and all this cool music that was great. And So it kind of influenced me to go to this funky style, and I started playing guitar. Like he forced me to do a guitar lesson. I was like,
I
I'm
need
not.
you to get a little closer to the mic.
Closer to the mic. Can you
Yeah.
hear me
Oh,
now?
there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
all
Okay.
right. That is
Yeah.
better. I
Yeah.
can hear myself.
Okay.
So let's start over. So in the 60s, my dad was a DJ, and he
Yeah.
used to bump like Prince and
Yeah.
disco and stuff. And so basically, he had to do like clarinet lessons,
Yeah.
and he hated it. So he made me do guitar lessons because he thought guitar was cool. And he's like, I'm going to vicariously live through you, and I'm going to make you take guitar lessons. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm down. And then I was a little kid. I was 7 years old. I hated it. I couldn't hold the guitar. It was like way too hard to
You're
play.
like, I hate this.
And he taught me like, or my lesson was like Louie Louie. I was playing like,
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna ask you what was the first song you learned, and here you go. I got a live show right now, y'all.
so that was the first song I ever learned, and I fucking hated it. I don't know
Oh,
if I could
you
say the
can't.
F word.
You can't.
I won't say it again.
Okay. All right. It's okay.
I just slapped my hand.
Dude, no worries. It happens every time, and I have a button here to dump or like have a delay, but I'm always too late. I'm like, oh yeah, and then but no worries. You know, it's an AM station. I'm sure like the FCC, like they're not
Yeah.
listening right now.
They're gonna
So-
like just blow in through my window at night.
I know who
arrest
is
me.
Ofier.
Yeah.
But I think
So
that's
we
really
digress.
yeah, I think that's really awesome your story because I have kind of a similar story. My dad, he used to be a super big DJ in Tijuana back in the days.
Sweet.
Yeah, and he taught me what I know about music, and he still DJs actually. He's 50
Nice.
and he's still like doing the stuff.
In Tijuana.
No, well, all over, like here in San Diego, he DJs at City Tacos
Nice.
and like Romesco. So I
I
know.
love City Tacos.
Yeah,
Tacos
go
are
on a
bomb.
Tuesday. On a Taco
a
Tuesday,
Tuesday?
say hi
Yeah.
to him. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. I
So-
will.
So I think it's really cool that we share that same story about our fathers influencing us in the music
Yeah.
biz.
So basically, I hated it when I was 7, and then when I was 12, I was like, "Yo, Dad, I do want to pick this up now." He's like, "Hell no! Like, I bought you a guitar when you were 7. You didn't pick it up. You did not take your lessons seriously. I'm not doing it." So then it kind of forced me to like dive into it, and I had to do it on my own, and I had to save up money, buy my own guitar,
Yeah,
like
you don't learn.
teach myself on YouTube. Didn't even exist at that time.
I know.
So I was looking up guitar tabs and learning like Blink-182 songs and like Sublime songs and No Doubt and stuff like that. And that's pretty much what like started me throwing parties in LA, like in the not early 90s.
That's when you
like
start
early
getting involved
2000s.
in bands.
Yeah, playing like funk and rock and ska bands and like the whole like No Doubt, Sublime, that thing, moving into the
Yeah.
like Thrice
That's
and
pretty
like
cool.
screamo stuff, like Taking Back Sunday and Thrice and all that.
Yeah, you just like went for it. You bought your own stuff. I actually like recently just bought a keyboard and I've been trying to learn and I'm
How's it
privileged.
going?
It's great. I've been starting to look at YouTube videos, but back in the day, like you said, you didn't have that, so you had to just work extra hard
Yeah.
to find a way to learn
You
on
would
your
look
own.
for like a guitar blog or
Yeah.
something like that.
And
just go from
you're
there.
originally from West Hollywood, and you moved to San Diego for college.
Yeah,
Right. In fact,
here
you're
at-
you're a fellow Aztec,
Yep,
Hey.
SDSU.
and you
Scoot, scoot.
studied real estate. Is that still part of your life, or are you still just focused on music right now?
I've pretty much retired in real estate. I still own my real estate company, and we actually do housing here at SDSU. But let's
Okay.
not get into that.
Oh
too
yeah,
much.
no.
But,
It was just like interesting because I saw that you're an Aztec, so it was
Yeah.
cool to. It would be interesting to bring it up and see if that's still.
So when I graduated with a real estate license because my dad was like, "You should do business or real estate or something like that," and I'm
Yeah.
glad I did because like it helped me like learn like values to like start a career and learn how to brand a company, and was able to like do my own photography and do my own web design and start learning how to brand a company. And now I've been able to apply it in my DJ stuff. Like as a musician, I've been able to make my own shirts. I do all my own logos. I do all my own design
Damn.
work.
I'm gonna start hanging out with you more.
Made my
Yeah,
own
You need to
website.
get some skills.
I record myself like when I play music, and I've learned all these like multi-talented stuff through business. You know?
And you've applied it to what you do now. And
Yeah.
it works out. It's perfect.
Totally.
And as much as I want to keep going, it's time for the music break.
Okay,
And
cool.
I want to know what can I expect in the first half of the mix.
So this was my live set at Kava Lounge. I was playing guitar and DJing. My buddy Milad has the Umbrella Friends.
Oh man, I've never
event.
been. I've been wanting to check it out.
It's pretty rad. They like turn Kava Lounge into a different universe. Like there's all
Ooh.
these umbrellas and these floating like LED clouds and stuff. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
I've heard. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but
But it's a vibe, so I
It's a
brought some
vibe.
vibes. It's kind of a mellow mix, but because like the place looked like a vibe, I kind of played off of that, you know?
fantastic. Well, I think we're ready to turn it up in the studio, and we'll be back in 10 minutes with the longer interview. And you already know the drill. Check out the live stream right now, Scarlett Letter Show on Facebook. And you're listening to KCR College Radio, the award winning sound of states.
I feel the sky beneath my soles. Speaking in words, all I can hear is sighs. Giving me things that making me feel my eyes. Trying to feel the ground, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel the sky beneath my soul. Speaking in words, all I can hear is sighs. Giving me things that making me feel my eyes.
Hey, party people! Here we are again. Is that mix groovy or what?
Just a smidge.
Now, I just have to do some announcements as usual before we go on the longer interview. So, are you a fan of podcasts? Make sure to tune in on KCR On Demand, the newest platform of entertainment for you. Oh, from your radio host. I've said this like a million times, and I don't know why I'm stuttering. Here at SCSU, find us on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud at KCR College Radio. And also, you should check out North Parks Observatory because they're our sponsors and they're cool. So check out our ticket giveaways at KCR College Radio or via kcrlive.com. And lastly, Techniche returns to the Hillcrest City Fest for a day-to-night tech house and techno event from 4 to 10 p.m. with resident DJs Mixoplex, John Bilotti, and special guest Sethis. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is a free event, y'all. All you have to do is bring your ID because it's a 21 and up event and your good vibes, so don't miss out. And back to your story. You started off playing in bands What
Yeah, where do we
influenced-
leave? Where do
I
we
know,
leave
where-
off? I don't even remember because we've been
I
talking for the
know.
last 10 minutes.
I want to know what influenced you to transition into DJing and the whole electronic music scene.
So I joined a band, or I started a band with my buddy Drew called Shell Shock, and he invented this like lightning drum kit, and we were playing like EDM, and this was like geared for like Las Vegas and music festivals and huge production type stuff. He literally invented a drum kit with lightning inside of it.
Damn.
And it was hooked up to 50,000 volts of Tesla coils. And so we started playing EDM, and we had another buddy named Andrew Krause, who's a great producer, and he was working on productions with us. And he was our DJ at the time, and then he basically wanted to be more of a producer and didn't want to DJ. He didn't really like playing shows so much. He was
Okay,
more
but
of
what
a-
about your story? Let's
Stay on me. I'm sorry. I always talk about the people around me.
Yeah,
because
no, let's
we are a
let's,
support system.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and we're a community.
Yeah.
So basically, like, he didn't want to play live. So I was like, well, I've had turntables at my house since I was like 15. My older brother's a DJ. So basically, like, my brother taught me how to DJ a long time ago. I was like,
Damn,
I could
it's
just
like
do
a
it. Like,
like a DJ family. You're
Yeah.
passing on to generations.
yeah. So my dad, me, my older brother, and my little brother all were DJs.
And you're you're teaching your little brother, or did you all learn from your older brother?
my older brother taught me, and then I taught my little brother.
Damn.
And we both kind of taught him, but like I was the first one to like kind of give him the like initial push, and I taught him like 5 minutes before his first show.
You guys should all do a B2B. Your
We have.
dad, you, everyone.
Not with my dad though.
Okay.
Not with my
like,
dad.
All the three brothers together.
Three brothers together. Yeah, we've done a couple shows together.
Damn.
But basically, once Drew quit the band, I was like, all right, well, I'll just pick up. I could DJ, like, so I just brought all my gear, and I started DJing and playing guitar at the same time for this band. And then after a couple of years, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do this by myself, so I can have like direction, like freedom of direction.
Yeah.
I could play any event. I could do like, I was doing funk sets. I was doing like hip hop, 90s hip hop, like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and Warren G and like that vibe, and like Loonies, like I got 5 on it, like shit like that. I mean, stuff like that. Actually, technically, that's not a bad word.
Well,
in
whatever.
TV.
It doesn't matter. Let's just move past it. Strike 2. If I get kicked out, you already know it's Ofier's
Yeah,
fault.
I'm trying to make a mark on this.
Okay.
So basically, then I like was doing like anything funky, pretty much like 90s hip hop. Anybody who had like funk influence, I was down for. So I started wanting to go solo just so I could do whatever I want, and I was playing like Prince remixes and funk remixes that I could find and playing guitar to it. And I always like grew up jamming guitar to tracks. That's how I learned how to play. I would just learn my favorite songs. So I'm like jamming guitar along the songs, and now I'm like, well, why don't I just do this like in public? Because like that's what I'm doing anyways. But now I'm just mixing and adding effects and also playing guitar at the same time. So it kind of came naturally because that's what I was doing in my bedroom anyways, like
Yeah.
through all of high school,
It just
college
worked out.
until now.
So how long have you been DJing like the electronic sound?
3 years I've been doing like live sets with guitar.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
really cool. And what genres do you prefer to play?
All things funky.
All
And
things
groovy.
funky and groovy.
Even if it's like techno, it's got to be groovy. It's got to have like, just for me, I like stuff that swings, stuff you could dance to. And then I really love like melody and stuff that's melodic, and people who actually like know music theory and like dive deeper into songwriting. Like I notice like seventh harmonies and ninth harmonies, and people who
you have an ear for it.
who have
of course.
intention with the writing process, you know?
And what is the creative process when you're putting a mix together?
I actually kind of just organize a bunch of different playlists of vibe. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be a super mellow party or if this is going to be a turned up, like, so usually I do like a super vibey melodic set where it's just a big folder of a ton of music. And I could just go in there and freestyle off of it and just pick whatever I want. Then I'll have something super funky, groovy, fun, dance party stuff. And then I'll have like some darker tones and just have 4 playlists or so that are kind of like,
You just prepared.
yeah, just like
Just in
options.
case, yeah.
You just have a bunch of options and then kind of just go through that. And And then also try and set an intention to have like a musical journey, like start off super vibey, bring it up a notch, add a groovy bass line, bring it up a notch, maybe get a little
Yeah.
darker and harder.
You understand.
Yeah.
I love it when, because you come from a musical background, so you know, it has to be kind of like that, like kind of like a roller coaster
Dynamic.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have
exactly.
to.
You can't be all over the place because you're like, what's like
Yeah, well, I
this
kind of
is-
am all over the place, but you have to do it like in a very
Smoothly.
smooth, seamless transition, and then kind of know which tracks are your transition tracks. Like if I'm gonna go from like super deep tech, and then I want to get to disco eventually, just because it's a fun party or something like that, and I want to start like very vibey, but then I want to go fun. You got to know that like house track that's got a little bit of disco, a little bit of
Yeah, you
like
just
the
gotta know your
melodic vibe.
stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it now.
You-
Know
you
your
sh-
shit. Okay, so I really appreciate the live element in your DJ sets because you don't see that often. The only ones that I know are Goldfish because they have their saxophone.
Yeah.
And but
Those guys are awesome.
yeah,
They're good friends
every
of
time
mine.
I see them, I'm like, yeah, I love it.
I'm playing with them on August 17th.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, at the Music Box.
Oh,
Come in.
I gotta go see
Show
you.
plug.
Yeah, I gotta go see you. I was actually gonna ask you about your events, but it's if you want to plug it in now, you can totally go ahead.
Sure. I'm playing tomorrow at the Holding Company. They just like reopened. They did like a beautiful remodel of the place, and they have a phenomenal sound system. So I'm really excited to like get back in there. So that's in Ocean Beach. We're doing a set upstairs, like on the not rooftop, but they have like an in between area that's like a restaurant, and we do DJ sets there. Set the tone, like vibey, groovy stuff, fun. And then we move
Cool.
downstairs and throw a dance party for the rest of the night. So that starts at 7, goes till 2 a.m. I'm playing with my buddy Carlo, who
Ooh,
I actually played Lightning in a Bottle with. He's also a really cool DJ.
super cool. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing. I gotta
Sure.
check you out soon.
Tomorrow night?
I wish I
Boom.
work.
Aw.
Yeah, I know.
I do too,
Unfortunately.
actually.
Yeah,
At
you're
the
gonna
same
be
time.
there. Yeah. So, what is your favorite instrument to play out of everything that you play?
That is kind of a loaded question. That's tough. Guitar is where I started,
Yeah.
and I love it the most.
It was a
Um,
love and hate relationship at first, but now you love it.
Yeah, because it hurts.
Yeah.
You know, it rips up your fingers, it hurts your hands, and so on. But in a band, my favorite is bass, because like you get to play the whole time. Like with guitar, I try and be very tasteful and like sit back a lot
Okay.
and be like reserved
Okay.
and come in and out like a boxer. You kind of gotta like bob and weave. But with bass, you're like, that's the backbone. It's like- yeah, the bass
Okay.
line is the backbone.
Yeah. And how often and for how long do you practice?
Lately I don't practice too much. I kind of just like pick up a
Because you're
guitar
so
whenever.
experienced, you're just like, I don't need to practice.
Yeah, I've been playing for like a very long time, and I used to practice a lot, but now I play like 2 to 3 times a week, so that kind of is practice. And
Yeah.
I will, if it's like a music festival or something like that, I'll like pick up my guitar before and warm up. It's more like warm ups
Okay.
than practice now.
Yeah.
So I'll warm up before a show.
And how do you handle mistakes during a performance?
It's all about like, first of all, like mistakes are cool because it's a human element. But if you know your stuff, then
You
you're
just-
probably not going to have a mistake. It's more like accidentally bumping into something and making a squeal or something like that. But I know what notes to play. When I hear a song, I know what notes to play.
He knows.
Yeah. It's just like you study that.
Yeah, definitely. And what does being a DJ mean to you?
I feel like we've all been DJs in our life, like through the iPod. Once the iPod came out, like anyone could be a DJ and just play music.
Basically.
And like I kind of feel like that's the beginning of it. It's like, oh, how do I curate a vibe for this party? Like I just have my friends over and I want to curate a vibe. So I feel like it's really just knowing what time it is and what to play at that time.
Basically.
Like I can't stand it when people start playing tech house as openers or playing tech house at like 5 a.m. It's like, no, switch the vibe. Let's go mellow. You know, much more appropriate for the clock.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like being a vibe curator at the right time, right place.
All right. That was the perfect way to phrase it, and because I completely agree. You gotta
Thank you.
start. You gotta start somewhere and then build up to the big finale.
Yeah.
And what keeps you motivated to create music and keep going on this journey?
Well, I just like have always wanted to be a musician for my career, and I've kind of set it up so that I can be now. And I'm like a driven person. Like I'm always I when I was in college, I had 3 jobs. I was playing in a band, working 3 jobs, working at a pool, doing photography on the side, and just
Same.
like I'm always like driven to just do cool stuff.
You're a go-getter. You just do things.
Yeah, and just to like fuel my passion. Like I've always loved music. I've been playing in bands since I was 13 years old. So it's just kind of like I don't know, it's like subconscious. I just do it. I don't like I'll treat it like a job. Like even though it's like, "Oh, I got to go meet up with a buddy to jam," and I'll treat it like a work shift. And I'm like, "No, I can't go to the bar with you. I have to go. I said I'm going to go jam, you know?"
Yeah, because you have to.
And we're gonna go work on music, and I kind of like create the space and create the time for it, and I treat it literally like a job or something.
Yeah,
And it
you
kind of
actually take it seriously, and that's something to be respected because there's some people in the scene that don't take it as seriously, and they do it for the wrong intentions, and you actually are passionate, and that's just like your life.
yeah, I mean the dream is to travel the world and like spread the message of love and taking care of the environment and cleaning up the oceans and cleaning up the earth and like avoiding pollution and stuff like that
And you
through
will.
music.
You will with this beautiful attitude that you have,
Yeah,
man.
like if I could travel the world with my guitar, that's why I'm like so driven to do this. That'd be like the ultimate thing.
Well, you're on your way. You're
Yeah.
doing things.
Played in Mexico last month.
There you go. Like
Boom.
you're one step closer. That's so awesome. I'm so proud of you. Even though we're not super close, but I'm feeding off your energy right now, and I see that you're a genuine person, and I really appreciate you being here. And I'm just so excited about what's coming up for you. Like really.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
So okay, I want to know about all of the events that you've played in your musical career. Which one has made the most significant impact in your life? And it doesn't have to be specific to electronic music. It can be like from your band days or whatever.
Yeah, sure. There's a couple really cool ones. I mean, do I have some time? Like,
Damn, no, not
I've
too
played
much.
like hundreds of shows, so it's kind of tough.
Yeah, I know.
But last year in Alaska was really cool. I played the Summer Solstice Festival, and it's sunset the entire day, and or not day, but like from 8 p.m. it's sunset, and then the sunset stays there.
Oh,
And I played from midnight to 3 a.m. with my buddy Bo, DJ Mancat. I played guitar for him, and we had my buddy Jeremy Dietz on the drums. He now lives in Denver, plays in like funk bands. It was sunset for our whole 3-hour set
wow.
from midnight to 3 a.m.
I would cry.
And we played 2 shows with Cut Copy, which was really cool in Alaska. So I was playing with this big band, sunset. I felt like I had made it, you know? And then last month in Genius Loki Festival, sunset set on the beach.
I'm a
Henry
sucker for
Pope.
sunsets.
Yeah, Henry
Like,
Pope
big
hooked me
time.
up. People always ask like, "Oh, I noticed you like play like really vibey stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to position myself for sunset sets on the beach or at Burning Man. That's my vibe. I want to be
That's the vibe.
sunset, like really, really, really like uplifting, good vibes, all about it."
All about it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. And oh man, we don't have a lot of time, but I want to quickly talk about your event producing experience and tell me about your brand, Kino Village.
So me and my brother started Kino Village almost a year ago. And basically we wanted just like another platform to throw parties and have a good time. And it's been a great learning experience because again, like as a business owner, I've learned like all aspects of event production. Like I literally make the flyer and do all the promotion and book all the DJs with my brother. Obviously my brother helps me with all of this.
Yeah.
And his name's Oren, by the way. Shout out to
Shout
Oren. What up?
out.
You better be listening.
You better.
But yeah, Oren and I started it about a year ago, and it's been cool. He's been hustling like so hard on getting lots of local stuff and building it from like grassroots style, like small shows. And then now we've like grown into renting out big event spaces and
Yes.
throwing crossed after parties. And we threw Oren and I partnered up with House to Ourselves and Stay Bad Guys and Flatline for this last Matrix party, and it's cool. I mean, it's a lot of work, and
Yeah, definitely.
it's like you definitely have to be passionate about it. It's literally like a 2 month job. You take on like a part-time job for 2 months for every single event, and then you have like 5 events in parallel through the whole summer,
Oof.
and it's insane. Like I'm like full time on the computer promoting, coming up with branding ideas, coming up with flyers, coming up with the art direction, and then also trying to bring in new music on the regular, and then also write new music and produce new music. So it's a lot to juggle, but it's like this last party you were there. It was
Yeah, it
so
was
amazing.
awesome.
So you get the like butterflies and the tingly feeling from like when you see it come to fruition. And you're like, all this work is worth it. It's so fun.
Yeah, I completely understand. And you do balance multiple roles in your life. You're a writer, producer, DJ, guitarist, bassist, videographer, graphic designer, event producer,
All
good
the
vibe
things.
curator.
Yeah, all the
How do
things.
you manage to take care of your mental health with your busy life?
I'm happy. And I do a lot of yoga, and live on the beach, and I've kind of like people are like, "Oh, you're gonna be so big, you're gonna make it." I'm like, "No, I've already made it, and I want to be this big, and I want to be right where I am. Like, I want to be on the beach. I want to travel occasionally. I want to be have time for my friends. Like, I don't want to be some superstar who has no time to hang out with their
Exactly.
friends, or no time to like focus on important things. You know, so." s- the- I forgot what the question was at this
It
point.
was just about taking care of your mental
Yeah.
health. But you said like you do
I'm just in a good
yoga,
place, you know?
you're doing things that you like, you're
Yeah.
taking care of yourself inside and
Yeah.
out. You stay pretty active. I see that you like surfing
Yeah.
and doing all that.
Surfing is a big part of it because I mean, there's no better place to watch a sunset than in the ocean.
I
And
know.
like
Oh my god, that's my
everything, like
favorite.
no matter how stressful your day is, if you go like sit in the ocean at
And watch.
sunset
Oh,
and
it's
look
the
at like the
best.
pink skies and orange skies, that is how you have good mental health. You will
Yes.
like relax and forget about work and forget about drama and the thing that you didn't do your taxes last week and it's coming up and the due dates and all that. All that goes away when you're looking at a pretty sunset in the beach. It's
Okay, we gotta go sunset watching because that's literally my favorite thing in the world.
done and
So
done.
okay, awesome. Man, unfortunately, we don't. I had so many questions, but I think we got the gist of it, or most of it. But I definitely need to ask the question that I always ask everyone before we go on the second music break. And what are your thoughts on San Diego's electronic music scene? You can start with some positive aspects, and then maybe something that needs improvement.
I think it's great. I really love it because I grew up in LA and I was throwing parties in LA and shows and stuff like that. And in LA, you pay to play a lot of the time and it's really expensive and stuff like that. But San Diego has like so many people coming from all over the world to be here, but on a lower scale than LA.
Yeah.
And it's smaller and it's not this like freak market like LA. So that's why people say it's like not much of a scene and there's not I mean, we can have more venues and bigger venues and cool venues. Like LA has a Belasco Theater and all these rad
It's
theaters
changed.
that are
Yeah.
just beautiful and they're just such cool event spaces. And we don't have as much selection, but thank you to the venue owners who are providing us with something to work with.
Yes.
Like that's awesome that we have something. And I personally like I love that it's like medium size instead of huge. Like medium size is realistic. It's easy for underground stuff to come up. Like when you it's hard to transition from this 50-person party to this 1,000-person party where they require like a $7,000 deposit for the venue or something like that. That is a really hard like gap to bridge. But in San Diego, kind of there's a lot of medium sized stuff, and
Yeah,
medium
there
sized
is.
stuff's like realistic. We could all do it. So like I love it. It's just the right size. It's just by Mexico. Like
We got it all.
yeah, it's great. So I think it's great. Obviously, like the downside, we could have more cooler venues, but I don't think we have the market to feed everyone. If there's like 100 dope venues, well, they're all going to be kind of empty, and there's only going to be one packed one. You know?
Yeah,
So
and I think the scene's also like slowly growing and growing.
oh, 100%, it's growing, but and certain festivals like local festivals that bring in 5,000 people and stuff like that, like it shows that there is a scene, but a lot
Well,
of those people,
they have the money for it,
yeah,
so
that's a big
I mean,
thing.
if I had money, I'd be throwing the best festival out there, like
Yeah.
So I know that's also like an issue for many people that throw events because they do it out of love, out of passion, but
Yeah.
it is hard. It's
Truth of the matter is, I've been working in music for 20 years. There is not a lot of money in it.
it's an act of love.
You gotta love it, and you gotta fucking love it. You gotta
Okay, all right,
beep
you're
and love the
out. You're
struggle.
out. Just kidding.
You gotta love the struggle.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here once again. I've really enjoyed this interview, and I wish it was longer. But
Thank you for having
time
me.
flies, right? When you're
Yeah.
having fun.
Totally.
So now it's time to play the rest of your mix, and we'll be back in less than 10 minutes to wrap up the interview. I got a couple more questions for you.
Cool.
So we'll be back soon. vibing. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. I got a couple more questions for you. What advice would you give someone that wants to make it in the music industry?
Well, I mean, technically speaking, I haven't made it in the music industry.
Or maybe there's someone that wants to follow your footsteps and
Yeah.
wants to do what you do. Or
I would highly recommend, like, invest in yourself, learn all the tricks of the trade, learn how to make flyers, learn how to take photos, learn how to play instruments, study music theory. Like, people say, like, oh, it's better, like, you teach yourself or whatever. Like, no, study. Come on. Don't be
No.
lazy. Like, you can take if you actually know your stuff and you actually study it, you're going to be able to communicate much better. So when you start doing collabs with other producers and stuff, you could speak the same language because you both know your stuff,
yeah.
you know? And, like, just work hard at, like, this is a lifetime of, like, studying music and developing your craft. You're never going to be at your full potential. Like, you can always get better.
Yeah.
So
course.
continue to dive into it. Learn all the tricks of the trade. Learn how to, like, make yourself look good on paper and online, and have a couple good photographer buddies. That never
Right.
hurts. And actually, like, be able to present yourself in what you are, like, communicate. There's so many bands and DJs and stuff who are amazing, but then when you look them up, they don't look so great, you know?
Exactly.
So
Make yourself stand out from the rest.
yeah, sure. And even just, like, if you're a filet mignon, make sure people know that you're a filet mignon and that you don't look like a Carl's Jr. burger. Like,
I love that one. Look like a filet mignon,
Yeah.
not like a Carl's Jr. burger. You heard it, okay? You gotta represent it from the inside and out.
yeah, now I'm definitely not getting sponsored by Carl's Jr. It's all good.
All right. So, what does the future hold for Ofier?
Just traveling as much as possible and playing music and just having a good time and trusting the process, enjoying the process, and just playing all the coolest festivals in the world.
Yes.
Or like I said, like, I'm trying to gear towards sunset and sunrise sets at Burning Man and all the coolest festivals. And
Manifest it.
I'm manifesting
Visualize
it.
it.
I've already got like 4 or 5 sets planned for this year at Burning Man. And
Yeah.
I'm
So
excited.
excited for you. Do you have any last shout outs or anything that you would like your fans to know?
I didn't really think about this, but shout out to my brother Oren and my brother Ori, who taught me how to DJ. Shout out to my dad, the OG, who used to throw
OG.
parties in Israel in the 60s and mix on 2 turntables
Dude.
and started his own, like, lighting rig. Like, he invented his own lighting rig. Shout out to Papa and my mom. Like, she supports me so much, and, like, they, like, always push me and, like, make sure I'm staying on top of my game. And shout out to Carlo, who I'm playing with tomorrow, who
Shout out.
I played with Lightning in a Bottle, or at Lightning in a Bottle with. Shout out
Yeah.
to Ta Ray and Ian Xavier over at Grand Artique, who booked me at Lightning in a Bottle. That was
Yeah.
my first major festival.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Henry Pope for Genius Loki last month. That was amazing. Shout out to Marcus Wyatt and
All the
Josh,
shout
Lonely
out.
Boy, and Justin J, and all the homies that have been working with me lately, and the Stay Back crew, House to Ourselves
Hey,
crew,
shout out.
PB Avenue, the holding company, Matt Spencer with Saran, Firehouse, and all them. They've all been taking such good care of me.
That's beautiful.
and I love everyone. DJ Susio
Hey,
and
Sucio,
Memo Rex
the
and Mitch
homie.
Dodge, Desert Hearts crew. Porky's been a close friend of mine, and Lee Reynolds. I hope we're gonna put out tracks soon, Lee. We got some fire.
And some fire.
Let's put it out.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone who is currently listening or still watching the live stream. Thanks for the support, and hope to see you all tonight at Riches for another installment of Techniche with special guest Austin Speed. I'll be uploading the full show and interview on my YouTube channel this weekend, and I'll be sharing the links on my social. So have a fun night, everyone. Be safe. Thanks for being here. You're awesome.
Thank you, Scarlett. Appreciate you.
Till next Thursday. Woo.